Setting up the charge master. When you're in the home screen, you can click on RCM services in the left nav bar, go down to the charge master and click it, and you will get a screen that will have either nothing on it or you will have started your charge master and there will be items in it. To add a new item, click on the add button. You must first start by selecting a title. I'm going to select individual therapy, 60 minutes. We're going to send a professional claim, and we're not grouping or repeating any days. And now we're going to enable the business rule. And what do we want the business rule to be? We have a selection of items in the business rules, and the main ones that you need to select are either an appointment type, which means every time an appointment is checked in for this individual therapy, a claim will be created, or you can select an encounter. And this will mean that not for an appointment type check-in, but whenever a counselor creates an encounter for individual therapy 60 minutes and finalizes the documentation, a claim will be created. There are other rules to further refine that setup, but for today, we're going to just start with the simplistic setup of an appointment type for an individual therapy 60 session. Once we've selected our appointment type, we want to start typing and determine what is the appointment type that we want to code with this. And in this instance, we want therapy 60 minutes, and we have 2 locations, so we must select them both. Oh, I see there's a third one, so we need to select the third one also. So when you're doing this by appointment or by encounter type, you must make certain that if you have multiple locations, that the appointment types from each of those locations, which are usually preceded by a couple of letters that denote the location name, they need to be added into this selection. Moving on to the next section, we want to decide what place of service we're going to bill under. Generally, you're going to bill under office for individual therapy. However, in some instances, some of our clients bill under 57, which is non-residential substance abuse, because that is the type of facility they are. For today's purposes, we're going to use 11 office. You can select a provider that goes on every one of these claims, but if you do so, it's going to override any rendering provider whose calendar the appointment was checked in on. So unless you have instances where some people need to roll those claims up to a supervisor for billing purposes, you need to leave this field blank. Once again, if there's some uniqueness about the location, you can take this coding and further refine the location. And you can also select a billing provider. And in this instance, we're going to select professional because that's what we're billing under. You'll then enter the code. And the importance of this is to remember that we're going into the database to select that code. So you need to take a deep breath and just wait for the code to show up in the drop-down and then select it. If you do not do this second part of the step, your claims are not going to go out with this code on them because we need to go into the database and get the HCPC CPT code out of the database. Where they're going to enter a charge for this, I'm just going to put $200. And then we're going to select our measurement of units and what's going to be billed as 1. If you're entering a code and it's billed by the hour in 15-minute increments, you would make this a 4. So on and so forth. We've now done our code and we're ready to save it. And so I've saved it. It's going to populate in my charge master and I'm ready to go to begin billing this claim.